Wow. Hey, everyone. Welcome. I hope you are having a wonderful day. It's Friday, April 3rd, and I am about to open April's envelope of inspiration for crafters. That means no matter what type of crafter you are, something within the envelope can apply to whatever you like. So, before we get started, just a quick reminder that if you're joining me live, first of all, thank you for joining me live, yay! And if you want to chat or interact with me at all, you can do so simply by subscribing after a minute. If you're not already a subscriber, the chat will open and then you will be able to see me and interact with me. And I would love to answer any of your questions that you might have along the way, or if you have reflections or feedback, just drop it in there and I'll get to it as I can. And if you're watching this afterwards, I'll still see your comments. So still feel free to interact. So real quick, hey, welcome back. I wanted to start this a little differently because this month, I thought it might be important to, especially now that we're in a live setting, to explain why I'm even doing this envelope project in the first place. So in case you didn't see the first video or you didn't quite grasp why, we're all living in a world where there is so much input or like coming at you all the time that it can be overwhelming. You can scroll forever and save hundreds of ideas and still not know what to make next, right? So these envelopes are really about creating constraint. If you're part of the art world at all, having creative constraint is one of those things that you might have heard a lot of, especially in like a school setting or an educational setting. And I know for one that when I first heard about creative constraints, I was sort of like, just let me do whatever I want. And then as soon as that was an option, I was like, I wish you would just tell me what to do because I don't know what to do when everything is an option. So that's the paradox, right? So these envelopes are a way to set certain elements so that, things like our tarot card and our color card, etc., instead of searching for this inspiration, we can just fall back conveniently on what these little surprises are that we set up for ourselves moving forward every month. So you can use them purely as creative inspiration for whatever kind of crafting you're working on, or if you're into it, you can also treat it as a symbolic or intuitive layer, or both. I do both. Either works, whatever you like. And then when you pair it with a clear intuition, or sorry, not intuition, intention, then that's when you can really make the connections between these seemingly unrelated objects and pieces. And that's what we're doing here. So if this is your first time, hello, I'm Katie Rempe, designer of Light from Lantern knitting patterns. This is my YouTube channel. I am doing a monthly crafting inspiration where I stuffed envelopes with a tarot card, a color swatch, a spell card, and a doodle chart from the Doodle decks. And each month, this is an inspiration and they can be applied to your craft. So, plus, I added a fun new little segment at the end. It is a pattern pull where I'm going to randomly choose one of my knitting patterns that I have designed onto a new little oracle deck. It's just for fun. And that is going to be part of the monthly suggestion too. We'll do a little symbology behind it. And then if you're also looking for something to knit this month, maybe that'll be a good fit for you. So if you're curious about that, stick around because that'll be a fun little addition. So as we know, the first place to start here is a quick little check-in. So what happened last month? It's March last month, in case you forgot, or, just in case you're watching this anytime. It doesn't have to be March. It could be anytime. So what happened last month? Take a quick minute to just consider what happened. For me, it was a bit of a blur. I just got back from 6 weeks of traveling. So that means I was gone for almost all of March. I came back just at the end. And, like doing something like that, being gone and out of your space, your routine is kind of like a plus minus situation. For me, I really enjoyed it. Different environments, different schedules, different people around. It made the month move really fast in a good way and, breaks you out of those normal patterns that you just find yourself falling into over time. So it's just the way it happens sometimes. So looking back on my March cards, um, was very interesting with my going out into the world and not really being home. So last month, as you might recall, and you can go and visit March's video if you want to see more, but the tarot card for last month was the Hermit, or sorry, the Hierophant. The Doodle was the Mortar and Pestle. The color was Lemon Chiffon, number 40, and the spell was Scrying. So I thought it was very interesting. Like the Hierophant was sort of like, yeah, you're going to have a crazy month, but you got this. Don't worry. Trust yourself. And then the Mortar and Pestle was very like you're going to be working the whole month. So whether you know it or not, you're going to be transforming people around you. You're going to be helping just change everything. It's just in a way, just by being so uncomfortable kind of from your normal flow. But in the end, it was a good transformation. And then for the color yellow, I thought it was like a very positive thing. And plus, again, it was very springy. Everything is like seemingly in bloom. And I do feel like that kind of adds a cheery element to things. And mainly, especially with the scrying, I feel like the main energy of like a trust your gut kind of a thing was like really important. And so I'm very curious to know what your feedback from last month would be. And interestingly, before we move on, when I got back from my trip, I realized Crossed Crow had sent me a book that would have been very timely for me to bring with me on the trip. Unfortunately, I didn't do it until I got back. And that book is A Traveler's Guide to Making Magic. Whoops. That's just how the world works for me sometimes. This is by Lisa McSherry. And, I wish I had it with me, but that doesn't matter. I'm started it now. So far, it's very interesting because been a great reminder of like, you got to remain flexible on your practice because if you don't let it move with you and you just do it when it's convenient, it's really easy to fall off. And that's like really just the same for like any craft or skill you want to build. You have to work with it over time. And if you let it fall off, then you lose that time and that's okay, but it is what it is. So learning to be flexible and like what you really need in order to keep yourself motivated. This book is, I think, going to really be a good instrument on how to apply a more realistic approach to like traveling with your craft or with your making or both. So I will put a link to the book in the description if you're interested in learning more. And then I will share a complete review once I am done with this little gem next month. So if you aren't a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. And then when it is up for May, oh my God, May, then you'll be able to watch that. And we'll follow up. Maybe I should do a book club. That's not the first time I've said that, but there you go. Speaking of book club, pardon me. Well, not really, but speaking of other things that are going on this month, April. So right before we open April's envelope, just a little background. I have teased this before, but just so you know, this is officially announcing that Knit a Spell is returning this spring. So by the end of the month, or possibly May, the first episodes will be releasing. And it is all about, like I have said, the Fiber Witch Festival, which I'm really excited about. And so if you plan on attending, please let me know. I'm looking into doing like a low-key meet and greet at one of the little places locally, or maybe just at Circle of Stitches, which is the festival coordinator's shop in town. So either way, just let me know or subscribe to my newsletter and then I can keep you posted on how things are going. But either way, if you see me around filming, please feel free to say hello, even if you don't end up coming to like a meet and greet or whatever. I would just like to say hi to whoever's a fan and maybe even I'll have a sticker for you. So yeah, I hope to see you there. And if you're planning on going, let me know. Speaking of Knit a Spell, because things are kicking back off again, I am going to be upgrading the tier system within Patreon. So if you are not currently a patron of Knit a Spell, but you're curious to learn more and see all the fun extra stuff that goes along with the podcast, plus supporting the podcast, it's just $5 a month until through April 5th. And then that level is going to be retiring for a new tier. So if you're interested in supporting at that price, now is the time to do it. Thanks for your support either way, even if it's just through free subscribing right here on YouTube. All of it is very helpful and appreciated. Okay, without any further ado, I think it's time. Let's open April's envelope and see what we have in store, shall we? So here we go. Got it here. Whoop. Here. Nope. Does not want to come out. There we go. May. Next month's gonna be May. All right, here we go. Okay, first off, we're going to do the tarot card. So our tarot card is the Queen of Pentacles. And then our color is number 78, Sapphire, stunning blue. Our doodle is moon phase number 1. That's fun. And then our spell card is Artemis, moon goddess of the hunt, protectress of animals, children, and women. Interesting. Okay, so we just are coming off of the full moon too. So this is all very interesting here. I'll give you a minute. You can take a look at this. Okay, so before I go into any meanings, just take a second if you're playing along and consider, what do these objects mean to you, considering your own personal intention? So what might the Queen of Pentacles stand for? Right? How about this stunning moody blue from a gemstone? It's also the September gemstone, I think. I'm September, I should know, right? 78, if you're into numerology, we can, break this down. And then, of course, all of this with the moon. Not to mention Artemis. I can see all of these sort of coming together, right? Artemis, the moon, Ace of Pentacles, this blue. Okay. If you are following along live, feel free to subscribe if you want to chat or add any reflections in the chat here. We'd love to see your feedback if you're interested. Otherwise, I will start breaking down what I consider some of these correlations to possibly mean, especially considering my personal intention, which is I craft with passion and community. So April, this is a very spring forward month. This is when a lot of things are rejuvenating, when you're finding sort of like your inner bloom, things are blooming out of you, you're shaking things off, you're really putting things together. Can you get this momentum forward? So I really feel as though literally things that you've been working on, right, are coming to fruition. So maybe you've had like a lot of projects in progress. This could be the month where you finish a lot of projects. Like, don't let them overwhelm you by having so many. Make the time to finish them, especially if you're one of the people like myself who tend to get to like the last 10% of a project, and then you're like, I got to stop and start a new project and get that one to 90% done and then abandon it. Use this month as like wrapping up all your things, do a spring cleaning, if you will, so that you have new room to add more things. Because, let's just consider like, the goddess of the hunt. Like, are we hunting for new projects? like new opportunities, new crafting inspirations, new teachers in our life. Maybe we could use the moon in as a way to keep track of time. That's sort of like also very witchy and fun and, you know, energetic, right? So kind of doesn't really matter what end of the spectrum, if you're like kind of woo or not woo at all or whatever, like everyone sees the moon. So we can all use it as a personal time frame just by looking up and seeing where it's at. And so maybe you want to, like, since we just had the full moon, by the next full moon, perhaps you want to have like 10, okay, sorry, two works in progress finished, if that's realistic for you, or you just want to make some progress, right? So let's see. This is this is also, like I said, a moon timing situation. So perhaps you could have like a buddy system that helps you stay accountable to not starting things this month, perhaps, and doing your spring cleaning together, because it's certainly, I think, more motivating to do things together. And we even have these phases of the moons together. Um, let's see, our Queen of Pentacles, she's bringing people together. And then blue, I feel like this is water, it's the sky, it's kind of everywhere, even though the color is quite elusive. So I feel like it's an excellent month to get with your friends, finish things, wrap it up, because then we have the perfect excuse in May. Like, what is it? The April showers bring May flowers, right? So shower, rain out all of your works in progress so that we can build new sprouts of progress projects in May. Yikes. Okay. Let's take a sip of water here. Okay. Let me just look at my reflection questions here. So if you have been enjoying my reflection questions that follow these cards, oh, hold on. Do I want to do that first? Yes. Okay. Reflection questions. You can consider these if you're looking for journaling prompts. Number one, looking back, how did March's inspiration actually show up for me? Any like little aha moments now that we're looking back and putting things together? Not everything always looks very clear when we're first looking at things. Sometimes it's not even clear until months later or years later, or who knows how long later. Or just like a day later or, hours later. It can be very fast sometimes. Okay. So that was looking back. How did March's inspiration actually show up for me? Okay. Next. Number two, what feels like it's gaining momentum right now? A good question to ask every month. What feels like it's gaining momentum right now? Maybe you too are gearing up to have a big social event. Okay, number three. Jeez. Where can I follow through on an idea instead of overthinking it? Again, like, even if you just have like that one project that you can finish this month, no matter how like done it is or not, maybe it's at the beginning project. You can just like buckle down and, do all the steps and get everything done and feel really awesome about accomplishing something this month, because you're awesome and you should have like a knitted or crocheted or you should have some physical proof of how great that is to show off to people and inspire them to also invest in themselves and having a fun hobby that helps make the world more tolerable. Right. Okay. And if you're looking for something perhaps to knit this weekend, because it is Friday, at least right now in this very moment, like I mentioned earlier, am designing little oracle cards based on my designs that I have drawn on these little Daiso cards that I got. So like this is a little blankie, and then this is river mitts. And a page of pouches. Naughty Boo Cuffs. All the hits. I haven't done them all yet, but I've at least gone through a bunch, and it's like been a really fun way to look back at my old designs and see how they can be illustrated, because it is not always easy to see how you can simplify an illustration to still resemble knitting, but not have it be so overwhelming that you're like, what am I looking at? And some of the designers out there are really, really great at it, especially with hand drawing. I was taught to draw mostly on the computer, so hand drawing still eludes me. But it's still fun. So, and then these ones I haven't inked in yet, but they're still fun. So, climbing vines, catch and release tea. When I go back and do the ink, I like finesse things a little bit. There's a hex cloth, which is right there. That's fun. Protection sigil hat. And then the cowl, some hermit cowl. I'm sorry, you don't want to see these, but I'm going to make you watch anyway. No sweat cozy, petition pocket mitts, Rise and Rustle cowl, flip floppers. It'll be fun to wear those soon. Although here I could wear them because I'm in Florida again, but like a minute ago, I was in a place where it was 20 degrees and snowing. So my brain doesn't know where I am. Anyway, so now that we have all those, I'm going to shuffle them and we'll see which pattern could be maybe the one that you want to make this month, or it'll inspire one that you might want to make this month. Doesn't have to be my pattern. Oop. Sorry, there we go. Shuffling. Oop, okay. Oop, there we go. It is, it's 2 cards. So we have Little Blankie, which is actually right here. Right here. This is the little throw blanket that I designed for my dog Pancakes. But you could also use it for a human child, or just for yourself to have over your lap, which is another thing I do quite often. Sometimes we fight over it. It's also really excellent for traveling with. It is like our travel blanket. It goes in the, like if you fold it in quarters. It fits perfectly in her little travel bag, so it's really nice. And plus, it's made with the superwash wool from Skacel, simply worsted. You'd think I would remember because I worked there for so long, but anyway, so that's fun. The other one is flip floppers. So maybe if you are in a cold weather area, this is also symbolic that perhaps it'll get a little bit warmer soon for you. So either way, I think this symbology, if you're into it, is like just stay warm. If you're in a cool place, it's coming around. Or if you're in a warm place, sometimes you're still cold in the air conditioning. So you can help yourself out by just making a little something that will keep you warm, or, a little something that will also keep your feet warm, but not too warm. And you still have a nice grip on that slippery tile if you're in a place like my house. If you want to see all my patterns, you can do so by visiting Ravelry. I'll also have it linked below. And I am always up for suggestions. These are not all my patterns. I actually have more that I haven't designed on there yet. So maybe I'll do like another live stream at some point next week, where if you just want to watch me doodle and draw and chat, and you could knit along, that would be fun. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything else. No, that's it. Okay, so that was April. Yay! I am very excited to hear your feedback about the tarot card, the color swatch, the doodle chart, and the spell card that we got for this month. How did March go for you? Any aha moments you'd like to share with us? I would love to hear it, of course. Thank you so much for doing this along with me. If you are doing it along with me, even if you're just watching, that's totally fine too. If you want to follow the rest of the series, just remember, you can just subscribe. It's a free thing to do. It takes 1 second. It helps me. And that's it. So thanks. Thanks for tuning in. And if you enjoyed this being live versus pre-recorded, I would like your feedback on that too. Either way. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Merry Make!